Nous sommes en audience publique, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. King-Catwell.
Now, Mr. Witness,
before you continue, how much longer do you expect to remain with the witness? I know you've just started.
Mr. President, it is most unlikely that I'll go beyond this session. I might even be shorter than that. But on the...
All right.
Yes.
Please proceed.
Mr. Witness, could you confirm to the court that your knowledge of Kalenjin is a process that you undertook on your own?
Dear.
Mr. Witness, just for avoidance of any doubt, you did not go to any program or any training or any learning to know Kalenjin, isn't it?
Anna.
Mr. Witness, you are not the only person who is not a Kalenjin but understands Kalenjin, isn't it?
Counsel, I'm not sure where that sort of question comes in.
Mr. President, I can rephrase the question. I appreciate also. Mr. Witness, could you confirm that you know other people who, whereas they are not Kalenjins, do understand Kalenjin in the neighborhood of where you used to live?
Dear.
Mr. Witness, you used 5 phrases that you said were used variously by Mr. Ruto and Mr. Kosgei. Could you confirm that in all those rallies, there was no prohibition to anybody to attend those rallies?
Kila mtu alikuwa anaingia.
Now, Mr. Witness, before I go to the specific phrases used, I want to ask you 2 related questions. Other than the people I asked you in private sessions and whom I don't want you to refer, are you aware of other people who belong to different tribes but have married Kalenjins?
Wako.
Could you also confirm, Mr. Witness, that apart from yourself, in the sense that you had friends who were Kalenjins, you know of other people who belong to different tribes but had Kalenjin friends?
Wako nao.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want to take you to the specific words you said were used in the various rallies. You said words to this effect were used. Is that what you said, Mr. Witness?
Ndio.
And for the public, you understood that to mean that we do not want trees brought by white men, isn't it?
Iko hivyo.
Now, Mr. Witness, you gave us 5 rallies you said you attended. Nandi Hills, Kapchorwa, Maraba, Labuyua, and Metete. Could you confirm if this first phrase was used in virtually all the 5 rallies?
Ilikuwa ikitumika.
Mr. Witness, the second phrase that you said was used was that Kimaje kesikated tugul nekiibu chumbek. Is that what you said?
Rudia hiyo swali.
Mr. Kinkatwa, the Kikalenjin phrase, you might want to take them slowly. I know that a number of them have already been spelled repeatedly, thanks to Mr. Bozek, who assisted us, and by now the court reporters would have created their dictionaries for them, but it will still assist for you to go slow with those phrases so that the court reporters can also pull them up. If there's any difficulty with the spelling, then you may have to respell.
Mr. President, I will assume I don't need to spell unless I'm told to spell, but I'll say them slowly, as you say. Now, Mr. Witness, I was telling you that the second phrase that you said was used were to this effect. Kimaje kesit tugul ne kiibu chumbek, and that is in transcript 91 of 20th February 2014 at page 68 to 71. Are those the words that you said were used, Mr. Witness?
I think the word you might have added a new one. I don't recall it to go. I don't know if that's significance to your questioning. And if you see there's a gap in the transcript, and that's where my own gap comes in as well, in my note, you might have put in a new word.
Mr. President, well, it is in the transcript, but I can. May I explain that some of these phrases are not exact in each of the rallies, according to the witness. I'm giving the general statement that he gave. I can put a question to him excluding the word that has been implicated.
There was a reason why we went through the laborious process of getting all the words repeatedly every time without abbreviating that process. If you recall, because Mr. Khan has insisted we need to get the exact words. So if we went through that process of getting the exact words, we do not want to paraphrase. We want to use the exact words all through.
Mr. President, I'm sorry to rise. If I could also just make a kind request that when references are given, transcript references, we're told not just a page or a set of pages, but the page and the line, and in addition, whether it's the real-time or the edited, because these all assist us and others in the court, I believe.
Please keep that in mind, Mr. Kinkatwa. If you can, that is.
Mr. Witness, I will read the words again, and for the rest of the court, it is transcript 91 of 20th February 2014 at page 68 to 71. Mr. Witness, I will read what is captured as being what you said. Kimaje ketit ne kiibu chumbek. Is that what you said, Mr. Witness?
Ni hivyo.
And Mr. Witness, you explained that what that meant to you was that we should remove all trees that were brought by white people.
Vile umesoma na vile unaelezea iko tofauti.
Mr. Witness, did you explain to us what you understood those words to mean?
Vile umesoma iko sawa na vile umerudia iko tofauti.
Mr. Witness, let me give you the opportunity to restate what you had said when you're explaining your understanding of that phrase. Please tell us what you understood.
Vile umesoma ulisoma mzuri, na vile umefika kuniuliza hiyo swali umesema kukata miti, kukata ni ketil. Yes, iko tofauti na kukata.
Can you tell us what it is?
Ndio. Msemo yake katika Kiswahili ukisema watakata miti, miguu za ile miti.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. The third expression that you said was used in these meetings is...
Before you proceed, please, Mr. Kigikato, 1 second. Witness, are you saying that your evidence is not that the words mean cut down the trees? What it means rather is uproot the trees.
Behavior.
Please proceed, Mr. King-Cutler.
And Mr. Witness, could you confirm that this expression was used in all the 5 rallies at Nandi Hills, Kapchorwa, Maraba, Labuywa, and Metete?
Hivyo ilitumika.
Mr. Witness, the third expression that you used is Ometai Suswe Kolanda Agoi Court. Is that correct, Mr. Witness?
Hivyo.
For my learned colleagues at the prosecution, it is transcript 91 of 20th February 2014, page 71 to 73. And Mr. Witness, did you explain that you understood it to mean that you should not allow grass to grow into your houses?
I'm sorry to interrupt. Just in terms of making sure that the record is correct, if it's the real-time, the edited version, the witness's answer in the Swahili to that Kalenjin phrase was a little bit different.
Okay, wait, let's.
What was put to the witness?
Yes, let's have him. We don't want to giving him what he said. Let's have him do it. If there's difficulty, then we will try and resolve it. My worry was whether the words in the phrase are complete.
And Mr. President, I am not using verbatim the way it's captured in the transcript as his translation or his understanding of it. I'm just referencing them, and it is open for him to either to confirm or adjust it as he wishes. But
let's use the verbatim phrase that he used as he used them. Again, we spelled, I think, at least 10 times. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but something close to it for 5 Fridays. I think about 10 times. So let us use the precise phrase we already have on the transcript. You can ask him questions about interpretation or his understanding of what they mean.
Mr. President, that's exactly what I'm doing. In terms of the Kalenjin words, I'm sticking to what is there, but in terms of interpretation, I'm rephrasing them.
Mr. President, if I may, there's a step that comes in between the Kalenjin words and the interpretation, the witness's interpretation, and that's what the Swahili record states. Now, if my learned friend is going to put what the witness said in the examination in chief, what that meant in Swahili, we would request that what is captured in the official court records is what is put to the witness. We're at page 71, 72 I believe now, of the transcript, and what my learned friend said to the witness that he said was the Swahili meaning of this phrase is slightly different, and we'd like it to be what's recorded.
Let's proceed this way. Let's get the precise words first, and I believe Mr. Kigen Katwa, there's another word that's missing. I don't think the phrase began with omitai. There might have been makimache there, and then the entire phrase comes in because the witness repeated, I believe, the same phrase. Now, Mr. Pugliati, the counsel is free to ask the witness afresh for his understanding of it.
Your Honor, there's no dispute to that whatsoever. It's just for the record, when matters are put to what the witness, when the counsel says you said X, Y, Z, that it's correct as vis-a-vis the Swahili.
It's a matter of Mr. Kigen Katwa how you phrase your question about interpretation. You're free to ask him, what do you understand it means? Or what do you say it means? Mr. Pugliati is saying, if you're going to say, you said it means X, then you need to put X precisely as he had said it on the record. And that's a question separate from you asking afresh what he understood the phrase to mean.
Mr. President, of course, I think one of the things we must acknowledge is that the words used in the various places are not exactly the same. But when I am quoting him, I'm quoting with reference to the transcript exactly what he said.
All right.
And I'd like to put the question again to the witness.
Fair enough.
I would like to use the words he used in transcript 92 of 21st February 2014, line 62 to 63. Sorry, I'll say that again. Transcript 92 of 21st February 2014, page 62, line 4 to page 63, line 6. And Mr. Witness, this is what I heard you to have said. Magimaje o metai suswe kolanda agoi court. Is that right, Mr. Witness?
Iko hivyo.
And Mr. Witness, I understood you to have explained that to the effect that you should not allow grass to creep up to your house. Is that what you said?
Ni hivyo.
And Mr. Witness, could you confirm if this phrase was used in all the 5 rallies?
Ni hivyo ilitumika.
My question, Mr. Witness, is not whether it was used in all the rallies. Rather, it was whether it was used in all the 5 rallies that you attended. Your answer is that it was used in all the 5 rallies that you attended, Mr. Witness, isn't it?
Ndio ilitumika.
Mr. Witness, the 4th expression that you said was used was Kimaje Owai Kasid Ne Kiagonin. Is that correct?
Rudia.
Your Honors and the prosecution, that is at transcript 92 of 21st February 2014, page 26, line 12 to page 29, line 18. And Mr. Witness, this is what I understood you to have said. Kimaje Owai Kasit Komye Ne Kiagonin.
Iko hivyo.
Mr. Kigenkato, I'll ask you to spell those phrases, not the words in the phrase.
Mr. President, the first word, Kimaje, is K. Yes, K-I-M-A-C-H-E. The second word is O-A-I. The third word is K-A-Z-I-T. The next word is K-O-M-Y-E. The next is N-E. And the last one is K-I-A-G-O-N-I-N. And Mr. Witness, you explained that to mean that you are being asked, or the audience were being asked, to do the work according to the instructions given to them.
I'm sorry, I'm rising again about the way that's been put. I have the transcript that my learned friend is referring to, which is page 28 of the real-time transcript for the 21st of February 1992, and it's lines 18 to 20 where the witness has asked that question. And his answer to what that means in Swahili is fundamentally not what my learned friend has just put to the witness as what he said.
All right, Mr. Kigenkatwa, can you ask him what he says the phrase means?
Although I will ask him that, Mr. President, but I was very careful with my question. I asked him, you explained that to mean you are being asked, or the audience were being asked, to do the work according to instructions given to them.
you can ask him, put it with that is what it means, whether or not he said that before. You can ask him, does this, according to your understanding, does it mean this?
Of course, Mr. President, the next line of my cross-examination would be based on the explanation he gave to the prosecution, with liberty for him to change what he had said. And so, well, I can put it the way your honors are suggesting. Mr. Witness, I put it to you that, according to you, that meant that the audience were being to do some work they had been given according to instructions.
Siwezi nikaseme ni wahudhuriaji wote. Inaonekana kuna baadhi watu walikuwa wakiambiwa.
But for those who are involved, Mr. Witness, it meant that they were being asked to do the work that they had been given according to the instructions given to them, isn't it?
Ni hivyo.
And Mr. Witness, this statement was used in all the 5 rallies also.
Ndio yalitumika.
Mr. Witness, the last phrase that you said was used is found in transcript 92 of 21st February 2014, page 30, line 20 to page 36, line 9. And according to my recollection, Mr. Witness, this is what you said. Magimaje chito ne tinye ngoroik aeng.
Iko hivyo.
Mr. King, can you spell?
Yes, Mr. President. The first word is M-A-K-I-M-A-C-H-E. The next word is C-H-I-T-O. The next word is N-E-T-I-N-Y-E-I. Then N-G-O-R-O-I-K. And then A-E-N-G. Mr. Witness, did you say that meant that we do not want madoadoa?
Ndio ni hivyo.
You also said that it meant that we do not want people wearing 2 different pieces of clothes.
Ni hivyo.
Mr. Witness, was this expression used in all the 5 rallies you attended?
Ndio ilitumika.
Now, Mr. Witness, I've taken you through the 5 expressions used, which you said were used in all the 5 rallies. The first question I want to ask you is, are those the exact words that were used, or have you rearranged the order of the words?
hivyo vile ilikuwa ikitamkwa.
My emphasis, Mr. Witness, is whether those are the words, the exact words used, or could it be that using your recollection you have attempted to reconstruct them?
Ni hayo ndiyo yaliyotamkwa.
Just for emphasis, Mr. Witness, I want you to remember that you are talking of what happened in the year 2007, and you are testifying now approximately 7 years down the line. It remains your testimony that those were the exact words used 7 years ago.
Hayo ambayo ilitamkwa kwa sababu iliingia katika mawazo yangu.
Mr. Witness, I will try to rephrase what your answer, then you confirm if that's how I understood you correct. You are saying those are the exact words that were used 7 years ago, and you remember them because they were very significant and stuck in your mind.
Hivyo ninavyosema.
And in all the 5 instances, Mr. Witness, the arrangement was that Mr. Henry Kosgei would say them, and then Mr. Ruto would come thereafter and say them exactly the same way in all the 5 rallies.
He didn't say Mr. Ruto was in all the 5 rallies, did he?
Not by a long way, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, it was 3 rallies, Mr. President. I'll put the question again. Mr. Witness, in the 3 rallies that you said Mr. Ruto attended, it is your testimony that in each of those instances, Mr. Kosgei would take the initiative of saying them, and Mr. Ruto would come back and say them exactly the same way.
Ilikuwa hivyo kwa sababu Kosgei hakuna mkutano angekosa kuhudhuria kwa sababu alikuwa katibu mkuu wa chama.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want to make reference to the 3rd phrase that we've gone through, being this. Magimaje ometai suswe kolanda agoi kot.
Iko sawa.
Mr. Witness, the word you have used from Kalenjin is suswek, isn't it?
Ndio.
or more specifically, Mr. Witness, it is your testimony that what you heard at those meetings was Suswek, S-U-S-W-E-K, isn't it?
Hivyo.
Mr. Witness, to the extent to which you say you understand Kalenjin, could you confirm that that word Suswek means grass?
Ndio linamaanisha nyazi.
In contrast to what? It does not mean. Mr. Kikinkatwa, so that we...
I'm alive to that, Mr. President.
Yes.
I was wrestling with the question. I'll ask another question before I come to the one you've just... Mr. Witness, does Suswek mean anything else other than grass?
Mimi kwa lugha ya Kalenjin nimejua Suswek ni nyazi.
Just so that I finish this question, Mr. Witness, could you confirm it means grass only?
Mimi kwangu ninajua ni nyazi, labda wewe ni Mkalenjin unaweza kuelezea mahakama kama kuna utofauti.
Mr. President, I do not wish to ask the contrast unless the chamber feels I must ask.
You should. And the reason is the witness is giving evidence and the transcript of the evidence is being created in English through the process of interpretation. As far as it is possible to use question and answers of witness to reduce the possibility of arguments down the line when the witness is not here about what the witness may have said. We should ask those questions. We know that another word, in fact 2 other words, had been used in this place in the past. Possibility, again, interpretation we received. If you're going to make an issue as to the meaning of the word as one thing else, we need to also address those 2 other possibilities as to whether or not the witness's understanding is on those.
Mr. President, in that case, you'll allow me to go the long route to come to that. Mr. Witness, I would like to ask you, do you understand any English at all?
Sielewi.
Mr. Witness, I want to give you a particular word, and I want you to try to remember if you understand its meaning. Do you know the meaning of the word weed?
Sijui.
in Swahili, and I do not understand it, I probably know no more than 10 words in Kiswahili. But in Kiswahili, is it possible that weed and grass have different words and mean different things? And as well, we also had the word herbs or herbs, some people might pronounce it, also used as a third possibility. So if it is possible to explain and eliminate what can be eliminated as to the correct meaning of the word while the witness is here, let's do that.
Mr. Witness, could you confirm that the word suswek in Kiswahili means nyasi?
Ndio.
And translation of nyasi into English is grass.
All right. What is the Kiswahili word for weed?
If you could let me see if the witness could even recognize the word grass, Mr. President. Just in case, Mr. President, I know he generally says he doesn't know English, but it's possible he knows one or two words.
I think the witness has answered that question.
Mr. Witness, I want to ask you, and I'm being very respectful to you, do you know the word grass in English?
Sijui.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want to ask you something else in Kiswahili. Do you know the word magugu? M-A-G-U-G-U.
Naijua.
The best of your knowledge, to the best of your ability, Mr. Witness, could you explain what magugu, a Kiswahili word, means?
Katika lugha ya Kiswahili, magugu ni mkusanyiko wa nyazi tofauti.
So is it your testimony, Mr. Witness, that magugu and nyasi are one and the same word?
Sio sawa.
Let me try. Witness, let's say I have a garden.
Mr. President.
I want to get this thing because we're going a long way. Can I?
Could I ask one before you ask, Mr. President? Mr. Witness, could you confirm that whether magugu means grass exclusively or it would include things other than grass?
maana ya magugu iko tofauti na nyazi.
Mr. President.
Yes. Mr. Witness, we want to understand the difference between nyasi and magugu. Now, let's say I have a garden at my house, and I cleaned it up, and I planted rose flower. And that is the only thing I want to be in my garden, rose flower, and nothing else. And then I wake up one morning, and there's something else growing there. That is not rose flower, some wild plant growing there. What would you call that wild plant that is growing in my rose garden? What would you call it in Swahili?
Naweza kuyaita magugu.
Now, can you tell us the word suswek? Do you understand it to mean magugu?
Ndio inamaanisha magugu.
Do you understand it to mean nyasi? The word suswek?
Ndio.
Are you telling us that the word magugu and the word nyasi mean the same thing?
Sijamaanisha inasema kitu moja, sababu magugu ni ile mimea kati ya nyazi.
And what do you understand the word suswek to mean in the context of the expression we have been using all along?
Hivi kama mngeomba nafasi hapo nielezee kati ya nyazi na hiyo magugu.
I will allow you to explain, but what we're now, as you can see, it appears to be important to the lawyers in this case, what you understand the word suswek to mean. Now we've established what nyasi means and what magugu means. Are you able to tell us, using the expression nyasi or magugu, what you understood the word suswek to mean?
Jambo kusema suswe ni nyazi.
Now you can explain to us what you mean to explain. That's the difference is between Nyasi and Magugu.
Ningependa kuelezea nyazi inaomea, kuna magugu inamea, lakini yote ni mfano ya nyazi, lakini sio ile nyazi ambayo ulipanda. Magugu ni ile inamea kati ya nyazi, lakini zote ziko sawa, lakini sio ile nyazi ambayo ulipanda. Magugu ni yale inamea katika ile nyazi umepanda.
Does it mean you plant the Nyasi?
Ndio.
Mr. King Katwa, you can take it from there.
Yes, Mr. President, and I'll request for your patience. Mr. Witness, it is your testimony that magugu are the things that grow in between grass or inside grass, where grass is, isn't it?
Iko hivyo.
Mr. Witness, it is true that cows eat suswek, as you call it, isn't it?
Ni hivyo.
Would cows also eat magugu?
Kuna magugu ingine ambayo ng'ombe hawezi kula.
Mr. President, I would like to leave that issue there and go to something different. Now, Mr. Witness, the other expression I would like us to discuss is the second expression in the order in which we presented, being this expression, Kimaje kesich ketit ne kiibu chumbek. Did you say that was said by Henry Kosgei and copied by William Ruto?
Sema hivyo.
Now, to the best of your knowledge, Mr. Witness, how would you say it in Kalenjin, which you say you understand, if a child is born?
Kwa lugha ya Kalenjin, kesi ni kumaanisha mtoto amezaliwa na inashikana na ile jambo ambayo nilitamka.
So it can go on record that it is your testimony that the word kesich means to be born or to produce, isn't it?
We ask for the spelling of that word. I'm grateful.
Kesich or something else?
The word relating to a child being born.
Mr. Kiginkatwa?
Sorry, Mr. President, I was listening to Kalenjin, to the Swahili translation. Mr. President, the only word I was dealing with was kesich. And the spelling, for the comfort of my colleague, is Kesich.
Mr. President, could I just clarify, page 57, line 21, it wasn't my interjection.
Yes, Mr. Khan has never interjected.
Mr. Witness, the question was, could you confirm, did you say to get a child, you would say kesich, isn't it?
Nimesema hivyo.
Mr. Witness, just for the completeness of the record, and considering that you understand Kalenjin, could you just explain to the, or could you say in Kalenjin how you would say that a child has been born?
Mtoto amezaliwa Kesich Lakwet, ni mtoto amezaliwa, na Kalenjin iko milango tofauti.
And the spelling?
How would you say it in Kalenjin? Did he already say it in Kalenjin?
Yes, and I was going to give you the spelling, Mr. President. But I can put it to him so that he confirms first of all. Yes. Mr. Witness, could you confirm that according to you, if somebody was explaining that a child has been born, he would say, Kesich Lakwet?
Hivyo.
The spelling would be K-E, then K-E-S-I-C-H, which is the word we are dealing with, and then L-A-K-W-A-T, Lakwet. Sorry, Mr. President, I'll spell again. L-A-K-W-E-T, Lakwet. Mr. Witness, so that the words can be separated, could you confirm?
Let me do this, Mr. Kiginkatwa. Let me confirm it to the witness. Witness, the word that the lawyer has put to you, the words, Kesich Lakwet, was that what you said? Means a child has been born.
Ndio ni kuzaa mtoto.
All right. Thank you.
And so that words can be distinguished, Mr. Witness, Lakwet is the corresponding word for a child, isn't it?
Ni hivyo.
And so, Mr. Witness, the word Kesich, to the best of your knowledge of Kalenjin, means to be born or to produce, isn't it?
nimesema hivyo, na kuna Kalenjin wanaweza sema Gesi, kuna Kalenjin anaweza sema Ketut.
Witness, what we are trying to understand now is the meaning of the word kesich, and the lawyer has asked you the question whether it means to be born or to produce, and you said yes, it means to be born or to produce a child. And I ask you, the word kesich, as far as you know, can it mean anything else other than a child being born?
Ndio. Naweza kumaanisha kitu ingine.
What else can it mean, according to your understanding of Kalenjin, and in different contexts?
Naweza kumaanisha kutoa.
It can also mean to produce or to grow. Mr. Kiinkatwa, continue.
I would like to move to a different phrase now, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, the fifth expression that we were dealing with, you said were words to this effect. Magimaje chita netinye ingoroik aeng. And that is transcript 92 of 21st February 2014, page 30 line 20 to page 36 line 9. Mr. Witness, is that what you heard Mr. Henry Koskei say, and Mr. Ruto copy word for word?
Yako hivyo.
Now, Mr. Witness, I would like to take you through each of the words. Could you confirm the first word, makimaje, means we don't want?
Hivyo.
Could you confirm the second word, chito, means a person?
Hivyo.
The third word, Mr. Witness, is netinye. Could you confirm that means who has?
Hivyo.
The next word, Mr. Witness, is ngoraik. Could you confirm the meaning of that word is clothes?
Hivyo.
And the last word, Mr. Witness, is aeng. Could you confirm it means two?
Ndivyo.
Now, Mr. Witness, the first person to use these words was Mr. Henry Koske, according to you, isn't it?
Ilikuwa hivyo.
And it remains your testimony that those are the exact words he used, isn't it?
Hivyo.
And according to you, Mr. Ruto used the same words exactly, isn't it?
Yako hivyo.
Now, before I ask you the next question, Mr. Witness, could you confirm if it is possible that any other words other than the words I have read, Magumaje, Chito, Netinye, Ngoroik, Aing, even other words other than those ones were used at all?
Rudia hiyo swali.
Mr. Witness, what I'm asking you is that could any other words have been used by Henry Koskei and William Ruto other than the words that I've just read to you and explained to you?
Ndio yako.
And what are those, Mr. Witness, related to this issue of wearing two clothes?
Yalikuwa maneno walitumia katika lugha ya Kiswahili kuhimiza tupige kura kwa umoja na tupigie chama cha ODM kura.
Now, Mr. Witness, you said that this meant we don't want any madoado. Did you say that, Mr. Witness?
Ndio, na nilisema kupitia mfano wa nguo.
So then, Mr. Witness, we can have the record that your testimony is that the words that were used is Magumaje Jita Netinye Ngoroik Aeng, and you yourself understood it to mean we don't want madoadoa. Is that right, Mr. Witness?
Hivyo.
Mr. Witness, you will confirm that neither Mr. Ruto nor Mr. Koske, according to you, used the word madoadoa.
Walitumia mfano wa nguo.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. What I want you to confirm is whether the word madoadoa came out of the mouths of Mr. Henry Koske and Mr. William Ruto. Did either of them use the word madoadoa?
Sikusikia wakisema katika lugha ya Kiswahili madoadoa.
Now, Mr. Witness, according to you, all these 5 expressions were used in the first meeting and were subsequently used in the next 5 rallies. Is that true, Mr. Witness?
Yako hivyo.
And according to you, this rally was attended by, amongst other people who are not Kalenjins, but who understand Kalenjin language, isn't it?
Ni hivyo.
Now, Mr. Witness, sometime early this morning, I had discussed with you your 4 friends, and I don't want you to mention their names. Could you confirm that your understanding of the 5 expressions were explained to you by your 5 friends? Sorry, 4 friends.
Sio hivyo.
Did you discuss these expressions at all with your friends, Mr. Witness?
Hajawahi kuzungumzia na marafiki zangu.
Now, I assume you have friends who are not necessarily Kalenjins, Mr. Witness, isn't it? And I don't want any names.
Nilikuwa nao.
Now, if you felt threatened, it would also apply to them. Did you discuss with any of those others that are not Kalenjins?
Sikuwa naongea na hawa kuhusu hizo mambo.
Mr. President, I have one last issue which should take me about 10 minutes. I could either do it now or after the break, but it should be very brief. And Mr. President, if the chamber, if your honors really need to know the topic, I could indicate what it is.
We will rise now. You can have the 10 minutes, but no more than 10 minutes. No, we return.
Thank you, Mr.
10 minutes only.
Yes, Mr. President.
We will rise now and reconvene at 2:30. Witness, we've come to the end of our session for the morning. We will take a break now for lunch, and then you will rejoin us at 2:30. Thank you. And the blinds will be brought down, and you will be escorted from the courtroom.